Sales is more of an overarching theme than anything else. You're not going to learn how to do something in one session. Sales is something that you have to practice by doing. The goal of today's call is to make it easy for somebody to say yes to whatever you're selling them. It could be a membership, it could be a challenge package, it could be a core class. The goal is to make it as easy as possible for them to say yes. A no immediately is not always a no. It's just maybe I need to find out what else I need to change about my pitch so I can get the yes the next time I come up to them. The more you listen, the more you learn. Sales is all about listening to what the person in front of you is saying and using that information to make your sale. So if you are asking questions and they're giving you detailed answers because of your good questions, the better chance you have of making that sale. So if you're asking them about what they do for work and what their schedule is like and how many days a week they plan on coming to the studio, where they work out now is what you have to remember in order to effectively make that sale at the end or even during class. Some people have come up to us during class and been like, hey, I'm going to sign up because of everything that we've done up to that point. It's probably my favorite thing in the world. So listening is learning. One thing that we have to do before we go into any sale is being prepared. We need to know their trial history, what day of their trial are they on. We all run different trials, so that's studio dependent, but let's just use the 3-day trial, for example. Is it their first class? Is it their second class? Or is it their third and it's really go time? The urgency depends on that. So knowing ahead of time how many days left and how many classes they've taken, asking them about the class they've taken before. Oh, you came on Tuesday. Did you like the strength day? Did you like the cardio day better? These are all questions that you can know if you just go and check their history. Your studio policies are super important to know off the top of your head. What's your freeze policy? What's your cancel policy? What's your late policy if they're coming in late to class? You need to be able to give them all this information as effectively and efficiently and as clearly as possible in order to make the sale as easy as possible for you and for them. Pricing plans. Know what your unlimited membership is, know when your twice a week membership is. Those are the main two we're going to focus on. We're going to keep the others, all the class packs and all of that in our back pocket. We'll chat about that a little bit later. But knowing your main membership options that you're going to be selling is in the studio off the top of your head, it shows the member or the potential member that you know what you're doing and this isn't your first time. What are we selling to somebody that comes into the studio? We're selling the space. It's a semi-private workout. The workout itself, it's a fully fledged program that is scheduled ahead of time. They have these workouts scheduled months and months ahead of time. It's a great thing to tell members. It gives them confidence in the program itself when something is thoroughly planned out. You're selling the community. You're going to make friends here. We have so many friendships that have formed in the studios. That's another one of those things. Yes, you're selling yourself as a coach 100%. You're selling yourself essentially. It's you are what they're buying. Great point, JP. Thank you. And then overall life improvement. You're selling them being able to play with their grandkids when they're older. That's something I always think to myself. I want you to be able to live for as long as possible. And working out is going to help you get to that point. Ancillary services is a little bit specific. That's our challenges, that's our class packs, that's our body scans. Those are little things you can use to try to sell to members just to practice. It's a great tool to, hey, have you looked at our body scan packages that we have in the studio? It's a great way to get comfortable being told no, first of all. It's a good skill to learn how to be told no and know how to adjust for the next time. Because sometimes it's not a no, but a maybe next time. And when you go for it the next time, you have a better approach and then you make that sale. It's just a gateway into the membership sales. Who are you selling to? New faces and existing members. The new faces are called acquisitions. So when they join our gyms, they're being acquired. And then our existing members are how do we retain them? So we don't want anybody to leave. We want everyone that comes into the door and signs up for membership to stay forever. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but the longer we can get them to stay, the longer we can help them get to their goals, and the more likely they are to achieve their goals. So every class is a new opportunity to sell them on staying in the studio. Selling isn't just making that membership, it's making them want to stay. When are you selling? Honestly, the entire time you're in the studio, when you're outside of the studio, you're selling all day long. I feel like I sell half the things I do from my Instagram when people slide up on stories at this point. But the sales process starts as soon as they walk in. The second that Green Star walks in, we're going to talk about the Green Star experience that Joey and I did before. I saw him just hop on. So the second they walk into the door, that process begins, all in order to close at the end. Game time. Here's where you remember everything that they told you. The goal of that is to then tailor their class experience to how you get them to sign up. What do they need? What did they tell me? Are their goals focused on strength? Are they looking to lose weight? Are they looking to, I know it's everyone's least favorite word, but tone? A lot of people are going to say it. Getting them to sign up is the goal because we can help them. All of the things that we covered in the lead coach clearance evaluation is how you provide that great class for them to sign up, making it easy to say yes. That green star portion that's on that list is super important. Sometimes just go in and check out that list. Make sure you're hitting all that points. You're staying with them at station one. You're putting them at station one. You put them with someone friendly. You're not forcing them, but you're making them make friends on their first day that make them want to come back. You're holding them accountable while making it a welcoming environment there. Post cool down, a little tip for you guys. A lot of people will try to run out right after class. We can't sell them if they're no longer in the building. At the beginning of class, it's good to go up to people and remind them that we have a cool down and that you're going to want to chat with them after class about what their options are going forward. Let them know that they're expected to stay and they're expected to have a membership conversation at the end. You can say it's super light. It's, hey, we have a cool down after class. I just want to make sure you can say it's really important you cool down. You want to make sure you're ready to go for your next day. Right after the cool down, I'm going to go over all your options with you. Super simple, super light. They're not going to think anything of it. And if they tell you they have to run, that's okay. You can start your pitch a little bit earlier in the class. Prescribing your routine, giving them their best options, help them book into their next class, and then really show that we do different things at F45. It's not the same class over and over again because some people will take one class and think every day is like that. So make sure you explain that we have the cardio, the strength, and the hybrid. When you are price presenting, oh, foreshadowing, I like that, Mitch. Very nice. When you are price presenting, we don't even have to pitch that they're investing in F45. They're investing in themselves. I want you to do this for yourself because I want you to live your best life. We want to push the unlimited membership. A, so they can come to the studio as much as possible. B, because it makes the most sense for us. It is also the most cost-effective membership option. The cheapest option per class is that unlimited. So just make sure you mention that if you need. With the price presenting, one fun one that I like to do that we found has worked really well is let's book you into the next class on your app. They'll then proceed to tell you that they don't have the app on their phone. It gets them to stay a little bit. They'll even sit down with you. I'll download the app on their phone for them just so they have it, they see it, and they're like, oh, I need to go back there tomorrow. They'll also tell you that, oh, the app's not working. Yes, the app's not working because your membership's not active. Let me help you set that up now. And then once their membership goes live, you can explain all of the benefits of the app, the nutrition, how the challenge works in there, the benchmarks that they can track. So the app's a really good tool and it's a gateway to the sale without coming off super salesy. So, hey, do you have the app on your phone? No, let me get that set up for you now. And then that's a super easy transition to, oh, why is my app not working? We need to set your membership up first. Works like a charm. 3 things that we have to do no matter what. We need to be clear. So explain your policies correctly. We need to be honest. We need to tell everybody everything upfront. Gyms do have a bad reputation for this across the board. Granted, it's typically more of a box gym issue, but people lump all of us gyms together. So we need to be honest and upfront about what our policies are. Do we have a cancellation policy? Yes. Here's exactly what it is. We don't want any surprises because if they're surprised, that means we didn't do our job in telling them what we need. Be authentic. Be yourself when you're making the sale. Don't be someone else. You're the only you. So use what works for you because that's the best way and most effective way for someone to buy into it. If you're being fake and you're being phony, people can see right through that. The best way to make a sale is to be yourself. Whatever you take away from today, and make it your own. We are in the people business. So we are basically customer service representatives. We are full service, start to finish. People are, your studio managers know, people call, text, email, DM, loyal snap all day long. That is all we do is take care of the people in our studios. We also need to make sure that the tone that we use with people varies person to person. Not everybody is going to buy into the same phrasing and the same energy. So you need to match them where they are in order to give them the most effective pitch and hopefully close that sale. Not everybody is going to be your best friend and you're going to be the same person as them. So you have to be the one to match them where they are in order to most effectively close that sale. Buying their membership is an option, but the goal is to get them to say yes. A leading question that can get you there is, this is more towards the end of a trial. Let me just clarify that. This is day 3 of somebody's trial. It's their last day. They just finished up class. It's which membership option works best, the unlimited or the twice a week. You're not asking if they want to sign up for a membership. You're asking them which membership they want to sign up for. I know it sounds like semantics, but the wording that you use is very important because they're not choosing between a yes and a no. They're choosing between 2 yeses, which is what we talked about in the beginning, getting an easy yes. They can't say no. They can still say no, obviously, just to preface. We're not going to hold anybody hostage in the studio, but you're making it as easy as possible for them to not say no. Paralysis by analysis. If somebody asks for more options, we can give it to them. But when you give people more than 2 options, now they're in their head. They're thinking, oh, what does this cost versus this cost? How many options do I really have? If you just give them 2, they have to choose between those 2. If they ask you for something less commitment, then you can break out your class packs, but you don't want to lead with all the options. It gets confusing. If you can go, yeah, we have an unlimited, which is 55 a week, a twice a week, which is 45 a week, a once a week, which is 99 a month, class pack, and just list out all the pricing. First, they're not going to remember a thing that you said, except for maybe the last one and the first one, and they're going to ask you to go home and think about it. We want them to make their decision in the studio. Once they leave the studio, the likelihood of them signing up drops drastically. That's why we try to close all the sales we can while they're in the studio. They took time out of their day to take your class, and the goal is for them to want to come back and see you again. Whoever said you're selling yourself or you're selling your coaching in the beginning, that's exactly what it is. You want that class to be so good that they want to come back and see you again. I know sales is a super broad topic, and it's something that a lot of people struggle with, including myself. A funny story, when I signed up to manage the studio, this was before Club Sports. The deal I had with the previous owners was that I wasn't going to make sales. Like that wasn't my thing. And here we are today, where I am giving a presentation on sales. So thank you for being here. Next time you're in the studio, try to sell something, a t-shirt, just try to sell anything. Talk about it during your cool down. Like, hey guys, make sure you check out the merch before you leave. Things like that. The worst thing they can say is no. You don't lose anything if they say no. Yes, Liza.
Don't sell money, sell intangibles, even when you're going for the close. Cost matters and it's important, but what's more important is what they're actually buying. It's not really about $55 a week or whatever your rate is, because people are very quick to go, ooh, $220 a month? Oh my God, that's a lot. So that's not the sale, right? Sale is all of the things that you've done up until that moment. In that moment, you remind them of putting down that $220 monthly. Phew, that's the money they're going to spend. It can be difficult to ask for money. When you're disseminating sales information to your coaches, remind them that they're not asking for money. They're asking for a commitment to the intangibles that up until that moment they've delivered. And that makes selling feel a little bit more comfortable.
100%. Thank you, as always. What's up, Chance?
Liza, I think you absolutely just nailed what you said. And it's so much of talking the value of what you're getting over the price. Because if you want to sound like a used car salesman, you start going down on what things cost. When you bring something like experience, and like what you said, Jeremy, in the beginning, your quote was perfect to kick this off, is how well are we actually listening to people? Because most of the time they'll talk themselves into what they actually need. If you really do it right, they will tell you exactly what you need. And now you're the problem solver. You're not the salesperson. And if you continue to use that word sales, even for the part-time coaches in here, you will continue to get that anxiety in your chest and you will get fearful of that rejection. But if you listen to people and you can identify what they're actually saying and what are they looking for and why did you show up today, there's a reason. And if you can get to the root of that for part-time, full-time, whatever your position is in this, you will find much more fulfilling success in this to where you can call yourself a salesperson. And so I think both of what y'all just said just really nailed it there. That was awesome.
And people don't want to hear about you. They want to hear about themselves. So when you're closing, they want to see themselves through your eyes. They want to see how they just accomplished a class. They want to see how they just joined a community. You're helping them see who they are as part of our F45 family. You're creating that safe space for them so that when it comes time to say yes, it's super easy.
Mitch, what you got?
I just wanted to add, like at our studio, we often say we don't try to sell anybody. We just try to offer prescribing what classes are going to be best for them, suited to their goals, what membership option is going to be best suited to their goals as well.
Yeah, 100%. The wording goes a long way, and the prescribing makes a ton of sense since you're prescribing the program for them after class and what classes they should hit. So you're prescribing a certain membership too. I like that a lot. Anyone else? Words of wisdom?
It feels great when you actually close, and it feels even greater when you start to see your coaches deliver on closes. And it's like anything else, when you get your first one, after that, the next one feels a little bit more comfortable. It's a good feeling.